All right, so it's February 8th, 2024. Sent these soil tests off uh, last Friday. Today is Thursday, so I got them back in less than a week. So this is going to be a boring video for a lot of you folks. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If you're into this kind of stuff, then check it out because it is what it is. This is the lifeblood of your turf. So I'm just trying to explain it the best I can and what I'm going to do. So the what I've got marked here, 24, 23. This is the ones I just done. This is last year, so we're going to try to compare the two. Let me go ahead and start. I'm not a soil scientist. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory on what it tells you to do. So I'm not chasing a perfect soil test. I will say that. As long as my phosphorus, potassium, and calcium levels are in check, I'm pretty well happy with that. Obviously, I care about all of it, but I'm not going to chase a perfect soil test. So let's get started here. So in 2023, this is the soil test. So I do 4 different soil tests. Let me go ahead and say that again. I have 4 different sections. So this is the main lawn. So in 2023, my pH was 5.6. In 2024, the pH is 5.9. So I added 40 pounds of lime after the 2023 soil test. 40 pounds of lime, calicitic lime, per 1,000 square feet, and it brought my pH up to a 5.9. So, it doesn't move a whole lot. So, we'll go over here to the phosphorus. Phosphorus level in 2023 was 49 ppm, which that's optimal. Phosphorus level on 2024 is 39 ppm, so it did drop a little bit. I'm completely fine with that. It's still optimum level. So if you look down here in the recommendations, phosphorus says I need to apply 0.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So that'll probably be done at overseeding or in the fall. Now, just because it says to add 0.5 pounds, they're talking about the soil. You can do some foliar apps, just let it dry, give the grass a little bit more. I do it all the time. So we'll move on here to potassium. So in 2023, I was at 144 ppm, which was optimum. 2024, I'm at 153 ppm. So it did come up a little bit, still optimum levels. And if you look in their recommendation, it says I need to apply 2 pounds per 1,000 square feet of potassium. And the reason why that is for one, potassium is a quicker leaching nutrient. It's, nitrogen is the first, potassium is the second. And I also do have pretty sandy soil, so that helps. That makes it leach even faster. So we'll go down here to calcium in 2023, and this right here is what this blows my mind. So I was at 662 ppm, which is low. I applied a ton of calcium this year. I was expecting my calcium level to be a whole lot higher, but it's only went up to 688 ppm, which is still, it moved it to the medium. So I will be applying a lot of calcium to this area. And what I'm going to, I should mention also what I'm going to do to correct the pH, which is still at 5.9. I'm going to do 40 pounds per thousand of calicitic lime. It does give the recommendation there of 57 pounds per thousand. So I'm going to do 40, and I'll check it again next February. So we'll get back here. Magnesium in 2023, it was 173 ppm, which was a borderline high, but it was still optimum. 2024, we're at 161 ppm, so we did drop a little bit. That's fantastic. I'll take it right there. Sulfur, 2023, 48 ppm, and we were a little bit high on that. So 2024, we're at 46 ppm, so we're just barely over the optimum, which I'm good with that also. And these micronutrients, I'm not going to go over all these micronutrients. I will say my iron level in this area in 23, it was 99 ppm, and for some reason it dropped a little bit more, so I'm gonna have to figure out, maybe add some iron to this. I did compost this area, only this area, so my organic matter was 4.5% in 23, and it went to 4.6% in 24. Now the CEC, which this is pretty low for a lawn, but I'll get to that in a minute, was 6.8 in 23. Now it's 6.3. Now that doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I added compost to this area, but I guess it is what it is. The compost, I will say, it did have quite a bit of sand mixed into it, so maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. So we'll go back to 23. So I done a soil texture test on this area only. Soil texture test in 23 come out to a sandy clay loam. So it was 54% sand, 16% silt, 30% clay. 2024, we are at a sandy clay, so no loam. So we are 52% sand now, 13% silt, and 35% clay. So you see what I deal with. It's not optimum, but it gets pretty good results. So we're moving on to the second area now. This area actually used to be a cow pasture, and I converted it to turf. So it's had plenty of cow poop and chicken poop put on it over the years. So you'll see in 23, the pH was 6.7. In 24, the pH is 6.7. I did not add any lime to this area, and will not add any lime to this area this year. So we'll move on to the phosphorus. Phosphorus is crazy high in this level. That's probably due to all the poop that's been put on it. So in 23, it was 126 ppm. 24, it's even higher. I'm not sure. I didn't apply any granular phosphorus to this area. That could be just a different area of the soil that got sampled. I don't know. So you can see though it's 161, so it's really high. It's probably locked up. I'm not sure. So the potassium in 23 was 212 ppm, and that was high. In 24, the potassium is 196 ppm, so it went down some. I'm good with that. And it's still showing to apply 1 pound of potassium per 1,000 square feet. And I will do that in the fall. I'll probably spray potassium on this just for a foliar application, just to, help it through the summer some more. Moving on to calcium. This area is good. In 23 it was 1109 ppm, which is optimum. It's barely optimum. In 24, the calcium's 1186, so that's a good change. Put it a little bit more in the optimum level. So I'll keep on applying calcium to this area. Probably just do foliar applications. So no granular applications for the soil. In 23, the magnesium was 151, which was optimum. 24, the magnesium dropped a little. It's 143 ppm, and it moved to medium. So hopefully that'll come back up with applying micronutrients. I'm not sure. I mean, I applied them last year, but don't know. I do have a fertilizer that has micronutrients in it, so I may run that on it. 23, the sulfur was 13 ppm, which was medium. And in 24, the sulfur dropped to 12 ppm, which is still medium. So to bring the sulfur up, I'm gonna have to either use gypsum, which I could run some gypsum and apply some little bit of granular calcium. It won't hurt, being it's borderline almost medium. So I may do that, apply some gypsum to it. So like I said, I'm not going to get into these small micronutrients. The iron level in 23 was 127 ppm, which was optimum. And it did go up to 130 ppm. So that's a good change. It put it a little bit more optimal level. So the organic matter is 4.1% in 23, and we're at 4.6% in 24. I'll take that. CEC was 7.7 in 23, and now it's 8.1. So we're moving the right direction on that. Not sure, like I said, on the area I just covered, the main lawn. Organic matter went up just a touch, but the CEC went down quite a bit. Not sure about that. So, and I just want to show you this. This is an add-on, the nitrate and nitrogen test. So, I do these soil tests. I wait at least 6 weeks after my last application of any kind of granular product that goes into the soil. So my last application was in December. So, and I tested this in February. So according to this, all the nitrogen's leaked out, and I won't disagree because my yard is pretty brown, and that's due a lot to being sandy soil. Moving on to area 3. This is the area that's in front of my well house. So in 23, my pH was 5.7. In 24, my pH is 6.2, so that's a good increase. I done 40 pounds per 1,000 square feet of dolomitic lime on this, because I'll go ahead and cover this since I said that. In 23, my magnesium level was 124 ppm, which was medium. And in 24, the magnesium level is 161 ppm, which is optimal. Remember, dolomitic lime has magnesium in it. So if you're low in magnesium and you need to raise your pH, you need to use dolomitic lime. If you've got a low pH and you need to raise it and your magnesium level is good, you need to use calicitic lime. So we'll go to the phosphorus. Phosphorus in 23 was 48 ppm. That was optimum. In 24, it is 52 ppm. And that is borderline high. And this actually calls for no phosphorus in this area. But I still may do some foliar apps, small foliar apps. I'm talking, 0.10 pounds of phosphorus, tenth of a pound of phosphorus, or something on a foliar application. So not anything like a half a pound or, quarter of a pound. But I won't be adding any phosphorus to the soil. We'll go over here to potassium. In 23, it was 141 ppm, which was optimum. And in 24, we're at 159 ppm. So we're borderline high on that. So no granular potassium for this area. I will still do some foliar applications like the phosphorus, just to help it along a little more. Be starting those more going towards the summer on those applications. And it actually does. Actually, I was wrong. It does say I need to apply a pound of potassium. So that'll be a fall application then. Again, like I mentioned, the potassium, it's a fast leaching nutrient, so I need to pay more attention here. And you can see back to the potassium in 23, it said to apply 2 pounds. So now we're down to 1 pound. So calcium level in 23 was 596 ppm, which is medium. And the calcium level in 24 is 653 ppm, which is still medium. So probably may do some liquid calcium through my fertigation on that, and possibly apply some gypsum to this area. The magnesium in 23 was 124 ppm, which was medium. And like I mentioned, now it's 161 ppm, and that's from using the dolomitic lime. The sulfur in 23 was 35 ppm. That was optimum. And it's down to 26 ppm. So yeah, I'll probably do some gypsum on this area just to bring the calcium and the sulfur up just a little bit. And like I said, I'm not going to do these micronutrients, but I will do the iron. Iron in this area was 159 ppm in 23, and that was optimum. And now it's 137 ppm, so it dropped a little bit. Still optimal there also, though. Organic matter was 4.1% in 23, and now it is 4.7%. So here's another example. The CEC in 23 with a lower organic matter was 5.6. Now in 24 with a higher organic matter, it's 5.8. So it went up. And back to the first area I done. Not sure what happened there. And for the lime, it's recommending 40 pounds per thousand. And as I mentioned, it's a 6.2 pH. So I will do 40 pounds per thousand. And I will use a calicitic lime this year instead of a dolomitic, since my magnesium level is in check. Moving on to the fourth area, which is right beside where I park my vehicles at. So the soil pH in this area was 5.9 in 23. Now it is 6.2. I did do dolomitic lime because the magnesium in 23 was 126 ppm, which is medium. In 24, the magnesium is 134 ppm, which went way up. I'm not sure. That one went way up. So definitely no magnesium in that area. We'll just use calicitic lime to raise the pH up when that's what it calls for. And it says 38 pounds per thousand. The phosphorus in 23 was 57 ppm. It was borderline high. In 24, the phosphorus is 51 ppm, which is still borderline high. And it calls for no phosphorus to be added. Like I said, I'll probably do some real small foliar wraps. The potassium level in this area. Now this area, I'm pretty sure this is what's causing this. As I mentioned, potassium leaches fast. This area, the gutters for my house actually runs across my driveway. And this area is pretty good slope. So I'm thinking the potassium level gets leached really bad in this area also. But the potassium level in 23 was 93 ppm, which it was low. And I have applied a ton of potassium to this area. And it's finally, well, it's at 100 ppm for 24. And it is calling for 2 pounds of potassium for this area in 24. So I will do a granular fertilizer in the spring with some potassium in it and some foliar apps, and I'll do at least 1 pound per thousand in the fall of a granular potassium. The calcium level in this area in 23 was 674 ppm, which is medium. Calcium level in 24 is 583, so that dropped. I wouldn't think the calcium, I guess it could leach some, but not sure on that one. Like I said, when you're doing these, you're relying on, you're taking different samples in the yard and different areas of that. I sample my areas 6 to 7 different spots. So maybe it just got, maybe they grabbed out of the bag some soil that was lower. I'm not sure how that works. So I will definitely be adding some calcium to this area, some kind of granular form. In 24, or in 23, the magnesium was 126 ppm. That is, I didn't cover this, but we'll go back over it. It's medium, and now the magnesium level is 134 ppm, so it's high. The sulfur level in 23 was 22 ppm. That is borderline medium optimum. Let's see what the sulfur level in 24 is, 21 ppm. So no difference much. It dropped 1 point, or went from 22 to 21. And like I said, to bring that up some, I will do some granular gypsum, and I also help the calcium levels. The iron level in 23 was 176 ppm, which was optimum. And in 24, it's 113 ppm. So it's dropped quite a bit, and it's getting close to medium optimum. So I may do some kind of granular iron application on this area along with my main lawn. I have some granular. It's a 600, and it's 14% iron. It's a protein fertilizer. You can buy it off a GCI website from Pete. We'll go over here to the organic matter. The organic matter was 4.1 in 23, and it dropped to 4.0 in 24. And you can see here the CEC was 5.7 in 23, and that now it's 4.9, and that corresponds, in my opinion, with it dropping. The CEC is your calculated cation exchange capacity. So that determines how much nutrients your soil holds. So I just wanted to explain that. Like I said, my CEC is pretty low for a lawn. So my soil doesn't hold nutrients, and that's due to being sandy and clay, which kind of sucks because sand and clay makes concrete when it gets hard, but that's what I got. I have to make the best of it I can. That'll pretty much cover it. I'm sorry this is a boring video. I just had somebody ask me to do a video on this and my plan of action. Don't forget, I got a Facebook group. If you want to join it, I'll link that in the description. And I also have a guide. It's $30 if you want to purchase it. There's a post, should be pinned to the top. If you join the Facebook group, you can buy that. And that's about it. So probably going to apply some lime today to the areas that need it, and we'll wait for the weather to warm up before I do some prodiamine and my first fertilizer app. Shouldn't be too much longer, maybe a week or two, I imagine. Coming back into a little cold snap. But yep, so I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.